Hey guys, welcome back to Chickadee Farm. So this is what my garden currently looks like. Covered in snow, and it's very, very cold out here, well below freezing. But today we are going to be looking at my 2024 seeds for the garden. I have them all, they've all arrived. We're gonna open them up, check them out, and I'm also gonna talk to you about how I organize them. But first, I needed to come out here to get the ones that I had left out here in the shed. So I just have a few down here, but mostly they are all in this case up here. So I'm just gonna grab this and we'll head back to the house and look at all the new stuff too. We are back in the house with all our seeds. So I went through my box that I had everything semi-organized in from this season. So I laid them all out in order of like what they are. And so like herbs, peppers, tomatoes, all of that. So this is all of these. I'm gonna put them out of the way for a minute here while we, go through our new seeds. That's much more exciting. So we're gonna start with MiGardener. Now, the great thing about MiGardener, well, multiple great things about MiGardener. First and foremost, their seeds are all all seeds that you buy in any store, in any catalog, anywhere, are all going to be non-GMO. You cannot buy GMO seed. Only like commercial growers can get GMO seeds. So every seed is non-GMO that anybody can buy for their home gardens. All right. So there's that, and then MiGardener also, I believe they do only like heirloom and open pollinated seeds. And what that means is that if you grow the plant and you save seeds from it and you plant the seeds, it will grow again the exact same thing that you got the seeds from. With a hybrid seed, that means that you potentially could get exactly what you got the first time, or you could get something wildly different that might not taste good or it will perform very poorly. So it's not a good idea to save seed from hybrid plants. But open pollinated or heirloom are considered, you can definitely save seeds from those. So that's number 2 for MiGardener. And then the other great thing, they have a huge selection and their seeds are pretty much across the board $2 a pack. And you get a good amount of seeds in each of these packages. So as you can see, I got a lot of seeds, and a lot of the seeds I have here from this year were from MiGardener as well. But let's go through them. All right, so let's see here. Okay, let's go through our alliums first. I think that's all of them in here. Yeah, okay. So our alliums, I got quite a few onions, way more than I need. And I think I have quite a few onions from last year still, but. So the first one is gonna be a shallot, which is kind of a cross between garlic and an onion. So it's a little bit less sharp flavor than either of them. Great thing to cook with though. I love them. So I got the Zebrun shallot. And then last year I could only find American flag leeks. And I don't know if it was just because I was looking in the wrong place, but this year I happened, like, it seems like everybody had different varieties of leeks this year. So this year I got the Carrington leek, and this guy is an heirloom. it's becoming increasingly hard to find. That's another cool thing about MiGardener. He likes to find stuff that's hard to find. Prized for its resilience to cold and large 2-inch wide stalks. Yields approximately 30% more than standard leek varieties. So definitely want to try that one out. And then got Walla Walla onions. They're just kind of a standard. They grow really well here. And then I got a sweet white Spanish and an Isla Craig, which is a yellow. And this is a Scottish onion. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Isla. Oh, sorry if I'm butchering that. But I just wanted to try it because it's a northern onion. They do good in the cold. Oh, and they grow 1 to 2 pounds a piece, sometimes up to 5 pounds. Wouldn't that be cool to get a 5-pound onion? And then, like I said, a Spanish white. And then I got 2 red onions, a red Geneva. Grown for braiding and extended storage. So I wanted a red onion that was good for storage. Most red onions aren't good storage onions. And even the ones that say they're decent for storage typically don't last as long as a good yellow storage onion. And then I got red Weathersfield. All right, so those are my alliums from MiGardener. Let's see, let's do, I think I only got a couple of herbs from them. I have a lot of herbs from last year, so I probably should have organized this a little better before we started doing this. Oh, no, a couple more. Okay, so I definitely wanted to do lemongrass again and knew I didn't have any more seed. And then I got 2 different kinds of cilantro. I got Calypso, which is supposedly the slowest to bolt of any cilantro variety. So it does better in hot weather, which we definitely get here. And then Slow Bolt, which is also supposed to not bolt as easily. I actually have a plan for my cilantro that I'm going to plant it in an area that gets shaded pretty extensively throughout the day. And hopefully that will help. We'll see. And then, like I said, lemon basil. I was so excited to see this on their website because it's been hard to find. I don't know why. Like I said, I found the lime basil and I was like, well, it's close. I'll try it. But I love lemon basil. The smell of it is just divine. It's amazing. You gotta try it. Gotta try it. Those are my herbs. Only got a couple peppers from them. I got a chili d'arbol and then some pepperoncinis. After that, we have tomatoes, kind of staying in the same family here. So this guy, Dr. Witchies, I've just seen so many other homesteaders rave about this tomato. And I had a yellow tomato, and I wanted an orange yellow tomato. And I had one this year. It was called the Nebraska Wedding, and it just wasn't very flavorful. So I thought I would try this guy, and it's a slicing tomato. Also, it is an indeterminate. So tomatoes come in 2 different types. There's determinate and indeterminate. Determinate pretty much grow to a certain size, stop growing. They pretty much set all of their fruit around the same time and it ripens around the same time. An indeterminate tomato, however, can get gigantic. It will basically keep growing for as long as the season allows it to, pretty much until frost or disease kills it. It will just keep growing. And what it does is it keeps setting fruit on the new growth. So it basically then fruits as long as it can. So you have to have space for indeterminate tomatoes, definitely. And then I got an Inciardi paste tomato. I don't know why. I have so many paste tomato seeds, but oh, it's the rarest. One of the rarest paste tomatoes available. So, yeah, okay. I couldn't resist. And then I got Ananas Noir. Again, I'm not really sure why. So I ordered these quite some time ago. I was kind of waiting for the holidays to be over to pull them all out and look at them. So I don't remember why I chose some of these. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. So that's probably why. It doesn't take much. And then I also wanted to get some more Tiny Tim tomatoes. Now this guy is a dwarf determinate, and I planted them last year kind of on a whim. I just saw them, I think, on Amazon, and I think I still have a couple of seeds from last year. These little things are powerhouses. I was shocked. So I grew them in my green stalk just on my patio here, and I had maybe 4 or 5 plants, and they just produced and produced and produced. And these were small plants. They were like maybe this big around, maybe that tall, small plants. And I got so many little cherry tomatoes off of this, and they were really good. So yeah, highly recommended if you don't have a lot of space, or if you want to have tomatoes just right outside your door, which was great as well. These are the ones to try. There's actually, I think, a lot of dwarfed varieties out there, but since I knew I liked these and they did well, we're doing them again. Only got 1 brassica because I have a lot of seeds from last year, so I'm going to use those for the most part. But I got Di Chico, which this one has a 3 to 4 inch head, central head, and then it does side shoots for the rest of the summer, which I really like. All right, what is next? We have beans. So I got a Maxabel haricot bush, haricot vert. It is a chef's dream, being one of the first full-size, high-quality bush fillet beans on the market. Yeah, so gonna try that. And then jade, I used these last year, so and I really liked them, so we're gonna plant those again. And then kind of in the same family, I got 2 different kinds of shelling peas. Now, shelling peas typically, well, always, you need a lot of plants to get enough peas to make them worthwhile. So there are 40 seeds in each of these. If I plant all of them, I'll have 80 plants. David and I don't eat a ton of like just peas, like frozen peas that come in a bag. We don't eat a ton of it, so I feel like, I don't know. I thought I would experiment and see what we get off of it. It would be fun to have our own frozen peas in the freezer. Let's see, and then got cucumbers. I just got Boston pickling. So last year I had, I think, 4 or 5 different varieties of pickling cucumbers specifically. And granted, I had some definite soil health issues, and most of them did not do well at all. But even with the soil health issues, the Boston pickling actually did very well. So I wanted to get some more of those guys. You know, I should just put these with their things as I'm talking about them. Tomatoes, beans. We don't have, so actually the other thing I don't have are my snap peas yet. I grew last year just sugar snap pea and an Amish snap pea. And the Amish snap peas, oh, they were delicious. Yeah, they were amazing, but I can't find any. So I'm on the hunt still for those guys. All right, and then my squashes. I love pumpkins. They're probably one of my favorite vegetables to grow. Even though I don't eat much pumpkin or squash in general, but I just love pumpkins. I love when fall comes around and you see the first pumpkins at the grocery stores. They just make me happy. They're just a happy vegetable, don't you think? Anyway, so I have quite a few. So last year I planted the baby bear and it did really well, even coming back from practically dead after it got frozen. And I'm gonna try baby boo again. I had 0 germination luck with this guy last year, but I'm gonna try again because it's a cute little white pumpkin. So it would be basically for decorating, as is the baby bear. And then I got the Valenciano white pumpkin. But the cool thing about this one is that it has orange flesh. And a lot of times the white pumpkins seem to have a fairly pale flesh inside. So I feel like you could still use this for cooking reasons, but mostly I got it for decoration. And then I got this Atlantic Giant. So it holds the world's record for the largest pumpkin ever grown. It is known to reach sizes of 500 to 1,000 pounds. I don't need a 500-pound pumpkin, but it would be fun to have a 50-pound, 100-pound pumpkin. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to play with. And then the last one I got is, I don't even know. I probably just got it because it looked cool. It's called the Black Futsu Squash. It's a Japanese squash. It's a little bumpy, grayish colored thing. So yeah, try it out. And then last but not least, I have all of my flowers. Where are my squash? All right, so I got some calendula called Pink Sunrise. And this picture, it looks pretty orange, don't you think? But I seem to recall on their website, the flower, like the picture of the actual flower looked pretty pink. So hopefully it's pink. And then I got some La France carnations. And I know carnations are kind of an old-fashioned flower that people associate with their grandmas, but I've always loved the scent of carnations. And so I thought I'd try them. I think they're pretty finicky. So, and they like have a really long growing season. Well, let's see what's, yeah, 130 to 140 days to maturity. So yeah. But I wanted to try them and see if I can have some carnations. They actually are also, I just am seeing this, edible. So that's fun. And then I actually saved seeds from my Cosmos last year. So, and I think I have, actually my flower seeds are not here. I think they're downstairs in the grow room still. That's okay. So I got a red, what is it called? Dwarf Dazzler Red Cosmo. Thought I'd try that one out. Then I got some Status, Apricot Status. It just looked pretty. This is a great cut flower for using like as a filler flower. I thought I had gotten some blue as well, but apparently not. All right, but I have apricot. Then I got a couple different kinds of straw flowers. I do have straw flowers still, seeds, but it's a mix. So it's kind of hit or miss what colors you're gonna get out of it. So I wanted a couple that I actually knew what colors I was getting. So I got an apricot, silvery rose, and copper red. And last but not least, I got the Valkyrie Mix Aster. So pretty. And then MiGardener, I didn't actually know that they did this. I knew that Baker Creek did it, but I didn't know that MiGardener does. They send out a complimentary seed packet called the Salad Bowl Mix. So it's a lettuce. Awfully nice of them. All right, the flowers are over here. And that's it from MiGardener. So let's move on to my next group here. And this is from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. Their website is actually rareseeds.com. And they're definitely significantly more, what's this guy doing here? Expensive than MiGardener, but they have more flower options, I feel like, which is why I went with them for most of these. All right, so I got some yarrow. Actually, here, let's start with the non-flowers. What are my non-flowers? Yeah, okay. Is that it? Yeah, all right. So yes, I got these globe onions. And the reason I got these is they are a good storage option. Both of the other yellow onions, the Walla Wallas and the Aesl Craigs, they are sweet onions. So they have a decent storage life, but not great. So I wanted to have a yellow onion that had great storage. And then I couldn't resist one more pumpkin. The Musqué de Provence. Isn't it cute? I just love it. So very excited for that one. All right, back to the flowers. Yarrow, this is just called Colorado mix. So some pinks, yellows, whites, creams. Also a great filler flower. I think you can use yarrow as not a culinary, a medicinal herb as well. Does anyone know? Let me know if you've ever used it or know that you can. And then this one was really cool. It's called the Super Bellissima Cosmic Cherry Petunia. And I found out about this because Seed and Sparrow Homestead, on her channel, she grew these this summer and they were gorgeous. Every time she was picking them, I was like, oh my God, I have to grow these next year. And the reason that she tried them out was because they are edible. Not all petunias are edible, so make sure before you try to eat petunias that you have one that is. But it's also supposed to impart like a cherry flavor if you like make a simple syrup out of it. She tried it and it didn't seem to really do that, but it's a gorgeous flower and I definitely wanted to grow it. And they're huge. They're like big, massive flower heads. Then I got some Crispidia and a couple of Gomphrena because these are also great kind of cut flowers. So this one, isn't that just the most cheerful yellow color ever? I'm gonna try that. And actually a lot of these, also another channel that I love called Garden Answer. And she's almost entirely garden related. And they have a beautiful, beautiful home. But I've learned so much from her. I mean, all of these, pretty much all of the flowers that I am trying this year for the first time, like these guys and the Crispidia, I'd never even heard of them before. I was watching her and she grows everything. I've just learned a ton. And so yeah, so Gomphrena, Crispidia. Oh, and the Gomphrena, I got a mix of purple and white and then a red. And then I got a Celosia, Higyoku Celosias. So this one has the like coral-like, I don't know, what's it called? Form, like it looks like a coral. Whereas the other Celosia that I have is more feather-like. It's just really cool that it comes in both of these ways. So got some of that. And then a couple of zinnias. And again, I have several zinnia seed packets from this year, but they were all, again, mixes. So I wanted to get a couple that I could definitely say, this is what color it's gonna be. So I got Pink Senorita, Margarinia, and a Polar Bear, a white one. And then, like I said, Baker Creek does do free seed. So I think they, depending upon how many you buy, how many seed packets you buy, they add in these free seeds. So I got the Datil pepper, which is blazing hot. Okay, it's a good thing that David likes spicy peppers. 3.5-inch fruit, ripens to a brilliant orange, yellow, vicious heat, complex, fruity flavor. So we'll try it. And then another lettuce. So probably we'll try that. We're not huge lettuce eaters. I mean, we like the salad here and there, but anyway, I don't tend to grow a ton of it. That's what I'm trying to say. Next one is a Johnny seed, and these ones are a little boring because they don't have any pictures, but the great thing about Johnny seed is they have a massive selection of seeds. They're also a little more on the spendy side, not as spendy as Baker Creek, I don't think. I'll have to look and see, or they might be comparable. So what did I get from these guys? Uh-oh. I got another Valkyrie aster mix. Shoot. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I got a couple of herbs. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so I got anise hyssop, which I got anise last year, and I thought that anise and anise hyssop are the same thing, and they definitely are not. And I much prefer the anise hyssop. So I got some of those seeds. And then I got another basil called Aromato Organic. I don't know why. What does it say? Compact growth, serrated spoon type leaves that are, oh, purple green in color. That's probably why. Yeah, because I don't have a purple basil. All right, and then I got another straw flower called Silvery Rose, and I got a Tower Custom aster mix. Don't remember what it looks like, but I'm sure it's beautiful. And then I also got an ornamental grass called Feather Top. That's the other thing I kind of picked up from Garden Answer, is she does a lot of ornamental grasses, and they just really add a lot of interest and like texture in like your flower beds and stuff. So I thought I would give one a try. And then the most exciting one from these guys, oh wait, is Silver Dollar Eucalyptus. If you watched my garland making video, you'll know that I love eucalyptus. The smell is amazing to me. So I think it would be really fun to try and grow my own. I think this is also somewhat of a finicky plant. It takes a really long time to germinate, 14 to 21 days. So yeah, that's a chunk of time, but we're gonna give it a try. I will have to replant it every year because it is not, it can be a perennial. Let's see, tender perennial in zones 9 through 11. So, well, maybe I should have started with that. Sorry guys. So I am in, we're in Southeast Idaho in zone 5B. Garden zones don't mean a whole lot other than kind of your average first and last frost, last and first frost dates, other way around. And it's basically so you know what will survive in your zone. So our last frost date is typically May 15th, although any gardener in this area that you talk to says don't put any of your frost tender plants out until Memorial Day, which is May 31st. So I'm going to follow that rule. I'll definitely plant things like my celery and my carrots, broccoli, cabbage, the things that peas that can handle some cool temperatures and even a light frost, but not my tomatoes or peppers or squash. Those things, May 31st. Anyway, what was I got totally sidetracked there. Right, so eucalyptus is not a perennial here, but I wanna try it. And then the last things I got were a couple of tomatoes. I got a Valentine hybrid grape tomato. And I love Juliet grape tomatoes. They're, about that size. I grew them this year. Super prolific, great flavor. But I can't find seeds for them. I don't know if maybe they are like a proprietary seed and you can only get them as plants, but I've never seen seeds. If you've ever seen Juliet seeds, please let me know where I can get them. But I got this as a replacement for that. And then the farmer that I bought some of my tomatoes from, which was silly because I really didn't end up needing to, let me taste the Sun Gold cherry tomato. It's a kind of an orangey, yellow orangey tomato. Man, those things are like dessert. Oh, so I definitely wanted to grow at least one of those. That's Johnny seed. Yeah, I went a little crazy with the seeds. And actually I have still a shopping cart with about 10 more seeds. And in fact, I want to add one more that I was thinking of when we were doing this. Oh, my peas, my snap peas. They don't have the Amish snap peas, I don't think, but they had a couple I thought I'd try. Yeah, so let's see. So actually, the thing that started this whole seed buying way too early, or really early, was this guy, Ed's Red Shallot. Also from Garden Answer, she grew them this year and they were humongous, much bigger than, she also grew the Zabroon that I have. And they were much bigger than the Zabroon, but they've always been out. Pretty much any place I've seen them, they're always back ordered or out. And so I had a notification thing put in so that when they came in stock, I could get one. So I got that email in like end of November and I was like, oh, I want to grab them before they run out again. And then I was like, oh, well, while I'm here, I might as well start buying my seeds. And so then I was like, well, while I'm buying seeds, I might as well buy all my seeds. So yeah, so Ed's Red, Ed's Red Shallot. And then I got a Rosa di Milano onion. And this is a long storage red onion as well. I think I must have forgotten that I had already gotten a red storage onion. It's fine, it's fine. Oh, and the thing, this is from Snake River Seed Cooperative, and they are a cooperative that only sells seeds that are grown from this region. So I think definitely like from Boise all the way to our side of the state. Boise's on the west side of the state, all the way over to our side, and then slightly north and south, I think, in that the Snake River Valley area. So it's kind of cool. So you know that these plants are going to do well in our region. And then I got a speckled Roman tomato because it's kind of cool. Most paste tomatoes are kind of boring. Like you can't get an orange paste tomato. So these guys have little stripes, little yellow stripes. I have so many tomatoes. So many tomatoes. And then I got a roque d'or bean. Oh, this one has yellow pods. That's probably why I got it. Germinates well in cool soil, throws out oodles of 6-inch long straight pods all summer. It's also a bush variety. I don't think I have any pole beans actually. Maybe I should add some pole beans. And then the last thing I got from them is a Cocoselle zucchini. Oh, interplant with nasturtiums to deter squash bugs. I'll have to try that. Squash. And then last but not least, I ordered some seeds from Pepper Joe's. So they specialize in peppers, clearly. And one of the peppers that I really wanted to try is the goat horn. And I did try them last year. I didn't get them until pretty late in the, seed starting season. But the company I got them from, they didn't germinate. Almost none of the seeds I got from them germinated very well. The pepper seeds, the tomato seeds did great. I can't remember what the company is called. Reimer seeds. But I really want goat horn seeds, goat horn plants, because this is the pepper that Mama Lil's, the pickled pepper that I like to copycat. This is the actual pepper that they use. So I'd really love to have some actual goat horn peppers for next year's pickled peppers. And then I got it's called PJ Cayenne. The cayenne plants I had, they were really prolific, but and maybe it was because of my soil issues, they'd grow, be nice and long, and then the ends would start shriveling up before they actually ripened. And it wasn't water. They were well watered and not overwatered. So I'm not sure, but so I wanted to try a different kind. And you can't really, there's not a lot of options for cayenne. I guess maybe it's just not something that people have experimented with. There's a purple cayenne, but I don't really want purple cayenne powder. And then I got Pepper Joe's jalapeno. So this is their proprietary jalapeno. Wanted to give that a try. And then they also give you a free one. And this one is called Christian. And I'll have to look up what it is because I don't know. Yeah, so that is my seed haul. Like I said, I do have a shopping cart with some more from Territorial Seed Company. Their seeds are definitely more on the expensive side. But yeah, they have some stuff that I haven't found at other places. All right, now we have all these seeds. And I cannot plant all of them. I don't have that much space and I don't need that many. So I thought I would also show you, kind of go through how I organize my seeds. So now that I've got them all kind of spread out like this, I need to decide which varieties of each thing I'm actually going to grow. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll come back once I have those picked and go through kind of my organization process. I did an absolutely terrible job of weeding out things. I only did these. These are the only ones I'm not gonna grow. Yeah, okay. Well, some of them we might just grow one of each. Like some of the cabbages. Oh, all right. But now that I have this all done, what we are going to do next is I have put here, so I have these numbered, and this is kind of standard, like how many weeks you started before your last frost date. So I'm gonna have 12, 10, 8, 6, and then I have a direct sow May 31st, wait, direct sow May 15th, direct sow May 31st, and direct sow May 31st plus 1 week. So now I'm going to go through all of these seeds and put them at their appropriate place. Now, last year, I started all of my seeds at the earliest end of the spectrum. So like if it says, let's see, 5 to 7 weeks before last frost. So I did 7 weeks for all of my seeds. And some of them, that was not the best idea. The tomatoes and peppers, several of the straw flowers, they just got way too big. So I'm gonna go with some of these, I'm gonna go with the shorter end. Some of them I'll go with the longer end, and some of them I'm actually gonna go start them even earlier than is recommended, just because we have a fairly short growing season. I think it's like 110 days or something like that. So like the the carnation that needs 130 to 140 days, I'm gonna start that pretty early. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right, I have all of my seeds spread out here. You might hear some growling cats and stuff because we just had a little hoo-rah-rah here between the cat and the dog because Charlie got a piece of my sandwich and they were all fighting over it. Anyway, they're still grumpy at each other. So all of the seeds are on their week that they're gonna be planted. And then what I use for organizing them is one of these guys. And it's just a photo holder thing. So normally you just put photographs in here, but they happen to be the perfect size for seeds. So that's what we used. And what I'm going to do is each week that needs a new date, I will put in here. So, and then what I will do is I will go back and with calendar, count back 13 weeks. And what is that date? And then I'll actually put that date here. So this is from last year, April 17th is what that says. So I'll put that actual date in here and then line them up in this box in order of when they need to be planted. I won't subject you to going through the calendar and counting back weeks. I won't do that to you. But I'll go ahead and put them all in the box. And then what I will do afterwards, and I'll do this also with all of the seeds that I'm not planting, they have named boxes. So all of the tomatoes will go in this one. All of the peppers will go in their own box. And so once I plant them out of their date box, they'll go into their named box. And that way it just keeps it much more organized. So I'm not then trying to dig through dates to figure out where those seeds are because they'll be in their own thing. I don't have nearly the flowers that I'm going to be putting. They're in a bin downstairs because it needs actually a fairly large bin. I have a lot of flowers. So we'll go over those when we actually plant them. But for now, I thought I would just take you through the decisions that I made on the ones that I had to make decisions. These guys are my latest out. And the reason for that, and some of them are even later than they actually are required to be or suggested to be. So celery, it takes forever to germinate. Now on the back of this, it says it germinates in 10 to 20 days. I think the other one says 8 to 10 days. Lies, 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 lies. At least mine didn't last year. They took over a month to germinate. And I mean, I was ready to give up on them and replant because they just took forever. And then one day I came down and I was like, oh, look at the little green things. I think I must have heard somewhere that they take a long time to germinate, but then they also grow really slowly. So I'm going to start these guys first, 13 weeks out. The grass, I actually probably should look this one up because this doesn't have a recommendation. So, oh, no, there it is, 5 to 7 weeks. Oh, okay, well, I don't have a 5 or a 7. So we'll do 6. And then the other 3 are the carnation, the eucalyptus, and the lavender. So the lavender, I actually probably need to do this almost now. It needs to sit in the refrigerator for 30 to 40 days to have a stratification period. And that just means it needs to be cold, so then when it gets warm, it will actually break its dormancy. It's just some things require that. I will say though that I planted these last year and I did not do that because I didn't read the back of the package. And I actually got lavender plants. Pure luck. But I'm gonna do it right this year. And they will also go in the ground early. And then both the eucalyptus and the carnation, although the carnation is recommended 10 to 12 weeks, and the eucalyptus is 10 to 12 weeks, and the carnation is 6 to 8 weeks. But because they have need such a long growing period, I'm gonna just start them early and I'll just pot them up as they get large. So that is week 13. 13 weeks out from our date, our frost date. What am I trying to say? My goodness. All right, these are all the alliums, and I'm doing all the ones that I purchased this year, plus some garlic chives, and yeah, I think those are the only ones from, oh, and some scallions as well. They're not in this box yet because I have another plan for those, which I will share momentarily. So those will be 12 weeks out. And then, so a couple of the peppers that I chose are the Tabasco and the habanero. And I'm doing them at the farther end of the recommendation, which is 8 to 10 weeks, because both of them, they both germinated around the same time as the rest of the peppers, but they were just really slow growing. I mean, my Tabasco plant never got any bigger than about that. I actually brought it in with one of the habanero plants to overwinter it and see if we can actually get some Tabasco peppers. And I did show that in a video, I think, where I repotted them. It's one of my fall tearing apart the garden videos. Anyway, and then yarrow is 8 to 12 weeks, so I'm just gonna split the difference with that. And petunias, 8 to 10 weeks, also going at the farther end because, as I recall, my petunias last year, they took quite a while to germinate and were slow growing. So those will go there. And I am just so terrible at making choices about peppers. So I'm practically growing every pepper that I have. In fact, I should just tell you the ones I'm not growing. Yeah. So obviously all the new ones that I showed you. And then I'll do the Hungarian sweet wax, the Ancho Grande, Hungarian spice, it's the paprika pepper, serranos, large red cherry, and the Keystone Giant. I actually saved seeds from those, so I'll probably use those. More serranos, banana peppers, and then, of course, the Sugar Rush peach. I hemmed and hawed about the fish peppers. I mean, they were super prolific, but I have so much hot sauce from those that I really don't need more. So, all right, they are going at 9 weeks. Then at 8 weeks, just have a few. So chamomile, the anise, hyssop, cumin, and catnip. And then I'm going to definitely need 2 boxes for 6 weeks. So I'm going to do the grass there, all the basil, sage, the Crispidia, and the Gomphrena needs to soak for 24 to 48 hours. So I'm actually gonna put this on top so I remember that. Straw flowers, asters, a lot of the flowers. The lettuce, because that's gonna go out early, possibly even before our last frost. Cabbage, broccoli, and then all of our tomatoes. So I also did a terrible job of choosing tomatoes to not plant. So obviously all the new ones that I got, we will be doing, well, I mean, the Tiny Tim isn't new, but I'm doing them. Let's see. And the Valentine, and the Sun Gold, and the Speckled Roman. From last year, my Federales did great, although they didn't ever ripen on the vine. I had to ripen them on the table. But I'm gonna be planting all of my tomatoes, or most of my tomatoes, in the greenhouse this year, so I think they'll do much better. I'm not even sure I have seeds in here. And then the San Marzano, they did really well as the Jersey Devil. And both the Jersey Devil and the Federale, they were huge tomatoes, so they were kind of fun. So I want to do a couple of those at least. And, oh, my Ace 55, this one did great. And then I'm just doing one type of tomatillo this year. Since these guys grew like gangbusters. So I did 4 plants last year and had way more tomatillos than I need, but I'm probably gonna do it again. Just saying. All right, all these guys in here. calendulas, I'm going back and forth on the calendulas. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but I've never seen calendula as a plant start, like at a nursery. And it dawned on me last year as I was complaining about the fact, or this year, that a bunch of my calendula starts didn't make it after I transplanted them, that perhaps they don't transplant well. But all of the seed or most of the seed packets say to start them and transplant. So I don't know, maybe I'll do both. I'll transplant, and then once frost has passed, I will do some direct sow as well. Let me know. I'd be curious if anybody else has seen calendula at their nurseries in their local area. So I'm only going to do Ducat and Mammoth dill this year. They grew really well. I also did bouquet dill. It was fine, but just didn't do all that much. And then cucumbers, I'm gonna try one plant from each of the ones that didn't do well last year, just because I feel like they didn't get a fair shake. So one's called Muncher, one's called Homemade Pickle, and one is called Ashley. And we have 2 Weeks has a whole bunch as well, including sunflowers. So it has its own box. 2 Weeks. And I think there weren't any new pumpkins or squashes. Oh, I'm gonna do the Italian striped zucchini that I did this year as well. All right, in direct sow at the frost date, so May 15th, we are going to do our cilantro, our peas, not the watermelon. Oh yeah, the watermelon. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna direct sow that. That needs to be in 2 weeks. Carrots, nasturtiums, and zinnias. All right, the next one is direct sow on May 31st. So these are frost tender, which is all my beans. I think it's only, yeah, it's just all my beans. They do not like cold weather. And then last but not least, if I have room, I'm gonna plant this corn. My corn last year was non-existent basically, and I had a whole bed of it. So I'm not gonna do that again. If I have room somewhere, I will plant these. This is a dent corn, which is the kind that you use with, to grind up for like cornmeal and stuff. But this would be a direct sow well after the frost date. So May 31st plus a week, basically. So, oh, and then one last thing. I am going to plant some things in the next couple days. And we have, our kitchen window is really super sunny this time of year because it's south facing. And so yeah, I'm just gonna put these into a couple little pots and get them started now. Well, that is our 2024 seed haul. And like I said, I will have an order coming from Territorial Seed Company. I probably won't do another unboxing. I don't think we need to, but they are coming. So they will be added to these date boxes. And oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I also ordered a whole bunch of rose bushes, which I'm super excited for. They are coming from Rogue Valley Roses, which I believe is an Oregon company. So close by, neighbor. And they won't ship until much, much closer to when they can actually be planted outside here. That's one great thing about them is you don't have to, you can order now and they get held for you because they do run out of roses there. And I believe all of their roses are true root roses. So like they're not grafted onto a different rose bush. So they just tend to do a little bit better. Well, at least that's the hope. Anyway, so those will be coming as well, which I'm, like I said, very excited. We'll do a whole unboxing when they do arrive, and you guys can check them out. They probably won't look like much when they come out of the box, but that's all right. All right, well, 2024's garden is on its way. Let me know, you guys, if you have any other ways that you organize or favorite seeds that you love to plant. I'd love to hear from you. And I'd also greatly love it if you subscribed to my channel and came back and joined us again. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.